بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين بارئ الخلائق أجمعين وصلى الله على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين حبيب إله العالمين أبي القاسم محمد اللهم صل عليه وعلى أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين المظلومين الذين أذهب الله عنهم الرجس وطهرهم تطهيرا اللهم صل على محمد أما بعد فقد قال الله تبارك وتعالى في كتابه المجيد وقوله الحق وهو أصدق القائلين بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الله ولي الذين آمنوا يخرجهم من الظلمات إلى النور الذين كفروا أولياؤهم الطاغوت يخرجونهم من النور إلى الظلمات أولئك أصحاب النار هم فيها خالدون صلوات صلى الله على محمد I've been discussing the role of Ahlul Bayt in freeing ourselves from darkness into light. The Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had made a covenant with Ahlul Bayt regarding freeing his servants from darkness and providing the shafa'at to Ahlul Bayt to the people through Ahlul Bayt. Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salam assumed the role of shufa'a, shuhada'u dar al-baqa wa shufa'a'u dar al-fana. Shuhada'u dar al-fana wa shufa'a'u dar al-baqa. This is how it's described. Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salam are the witnesses of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in this Darul Fana, in this dunya. They are the witnesses of our actions. They are witnesses because they are the guides of human beings. Allah has only made them witness because they are the most rahim, most compassionate, most caring spirits that Allah created. So Allah make them the shuhada because He wanted His creations to be guided and be saved from Iblis and Shaitan. So Ahlul Bayt were the guides and the hadi, the guides of human beings, and the witnesses also, because a person cannot be a guide if he's not a witness. Because you should know the person you are trying to guide. If you cannot understand the person, you cannot be a good witness. How can you guide that person? The person who can truly be a good guide for the people is who understands the subjects that he's trying to guide very much. And Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam, in this dunya, they have a role of providing guidance. How do they do that? Through taking the creations of Allah through the most difficult trials and tribulations and examinations and tests and imtihanat, ibtila'at of their lives. Most difficult of the trials human beings have faced in history, they have, if they do well in those tests, they are in the path of salvation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If they don't do well in their tests in this dunya, they will not be able to get close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They will end up in the hellfire. Hellfire, what is hellfire? Hellfire is basically being so distant from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that person does not receive enough rahmat khassa of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that he can be blessed with the consequences of good actions. Good actions are lost if a person does not receive proper guidance from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You see, in the event of Karbala, the most tragic event in history, Imam alayhi salatu wasalam had to go through, he accepted and he embraced shahadat and embraced all the most difficult tests you can imagine for a human being. All the difficult, I heard a commentator in Pakistan, I received a video clip in which he said that people have been in history, Anbiya alayhi salam have been tested by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When I say tested, it's for lack of vocabulary. I don't have a better word. Imtihan. Imtihan is a way of a person to fight Iblis and overcome all the temptations, all the things that Iblis puts in his path to block his path from going to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And if a person can uh, overcome those obstacles that Iblis puts in his way, he's passed the test. The Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam was put in this kind of situation. His brothers went and threw him in the well. Then he could have died there, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had a destiny for him. So a caravan passed by and he was rescued from there. But they took him as their slave, kept to the marketplace and sold him. I don't know of any other prophet of Allah who has been taken a slave and then sold in the marketplace. Sold. And the person who bought him, he was an influential person in the Egyptian, uh, government, whatever. But living in his house was the test for Yusuf alayhi salam. If he had not passed that test, he would never become the king of Egypt later on, Aziz o Misr. He became Aziz o Misr because of passing through this test. What was the test? The wife of Aziz o Misr, the wife of this person who had him in his house, tried to seduce him. And this is the Nabi of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What did he have to do? Overcome this obstacle from the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Maintain his purity. All the doors that hope opened for Yusuf alayhi salam was because he passed this test. If a person thinks that he can succeed in getting close to Allah without passing any test in this dunya, this person is only fooling himself. Because you are in the examination room. How can you be in an examination room and not be examined? You are Darul Imtihan. This dunya is for imtihan. A person says, I don't want any difficulties in my life. Oh, Maulana, please pray for me. I don't never get sick. Never have any problem in my life. Never run out of money. All my dreams come true. All my prayers are answered. Never have any sadness in my life. Even if you find a Maulana like that who pray for you, I don't think his prayer will be answered. Because this is the wrong prayer to ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The fact of the matter is you are in the examination room. How can you not be tested? There's no way. And the thing is, Allah is so fair. He will not give any special rank to anyone without a test. No one can complain to Allah and say, why Imam Hussain became Imam Hussain and I am this way. You chose him to be an Imam. Why didn't you choose me to be an Imam? Why did you choose Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam as your Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa alim, as your Nabi and not me? No one can complain to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Why? Because, I'm talking about myself. Can I even pass 1,000th, a very, very small part of the test that Rasulullah was put through? Can I even pass this much? Rasulullah passed the biggest test in the universe. Can I pass even this much? And I'm claiming to be the Rasul of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. How in the world can do that? How can a person claim to be, why did I not become Ali ibn Abi Talib? Well, mashallah, the way is open. Why don't you pass some tests and grow and show what you are worth? Then you can say what I'm capable of becoming. You can only become something that you have qualified for. This is all a merit system. In this dunya, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala assigns ranks based on your performance in the test that Allah puts to. So Yusuf alayhi salam, all he had to do was run from that woman. That's all. All doors were locked. He couldn't do anything. But all he had to do was resist and get off and try to run, free himself, and he did that. That's it. He didn't have any other obligation. Just Allah did for him. One door opened, ran out of that door, another door opened. There were apparently seven doors from that palace to get out. And when he got to the seventh door, Open, the owner was standing right there, master was standing right there. She accused that he was trying to seduce me. He was trying to get to me. So again, see, Yusuf didn't have to do anything else. Allah kept opening doors for him after that. How? Because the guy was the master of the house was not present. There was no witness in the room other than him and her. How could that be proven? Allah created that witness for him, who was not actually a witness, but he became a witness. A child in the arms of a mother who was infant and was too young, a few months old, started talking, saying Yusuf was innocent. This woman seduced him. Well, no one could deny the testimony of a 3-month-old, 4-month-old. It was by ijaz. Allah subhanahu. Yusuf alayhi salam had to just pass one test, which is test of effort and chastity, right? One test he did. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave him the imarat, the wilayat over Misr, and he became the source of the guidance of thousands or millions of people after that, because of this one occurrence, one moment of trial. That's it. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is so fair. No one can say, well, why Imam Ali became Imam Ali, why not me? Why Imam Jafar Sadiq alayhi salam became Jafar Sadiq, why not me? Because we do, well, one millionth of the part that Imam Sadiq alayhi salam did. We did just a little bit, we do, and then we can claim to have worthy of or deserving of any rank in the eyes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Please cite a salawat. Allahumma salli ala. But then why? Imam Hussain alayhi salam, in this trial of Karbala, he achieved success. There are two kinds of success in this world, in the eyes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. One is the early success. Now, something you want to have now. You rush. You want to do it now. You want to achieve that success right away. Apparent success, One is a success, first of all, that's a spiritual success now, but a very big and manifest success later on. And the reason is that you overcome all the plans of Iblis. You diffuse all the plans of Iblis in the moment. Diffuse all the plans. First of all, Iblis wanted all the human beings to be slaves of Yazid. Imam Hussain did not let it happen. Iblis wanted the hukumat of Sufyanis till the end of time. Imam Hussain did not let it happen. Iblis wanted no effect of the tarbiyat of Rasulullah, no effect, no positive results out of all the efforts of Anbiya in this world, that all of that would be lost. Imam Hussain did not let him have it. Imam Hussain raised some companions who became shining examples for the rest of the time. Imam Hussain alayhi salam had people like Ali al-Akbar on his side. He had people like Abbas ibn Amir al-Mu'mineen. He had people like, for example, Qasim ibn al-Hasan. He had Ansar like Habib ibn Mazahir. We had Zuhair and all these people. So Iblis totally failed. Iblis, according to Ayatollah Mir Bagheri, a very famous scholar in Iran, he says that Iblis brought all his forces into the field against Imam Hussain alayhi salam. Iblis brought out everything he had in his power, his disposal, out in the field, because he knew that today is the make or break moment. Either I have it all or I lose it all. He lost it all. So despite all the crimes they committed, not one mistake could be found in the character and personality of Hussain ibn Ali alayhi salatu wasalam. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad. Despite 40, 50, 70, 90,000, I don't know how many those people were against Imam Hussain alayhi salam. The lowest number is 30,000. Because there was a flood of people from Kufa and other cities, Basra and everywhere. It was like people were like pouring into Karbala from everywhere. For a week, more than a week, from the 2nd of Muharram or 3rd of Muharram, the armies started arriving and people were pouring into that desert, basically. As you know, thousands of people were being sent by force. Many came willingly. Many came out of their think that they were doing some kind of jihad against Imam Hussein alayhi salam. But people were coming all this time. So all these forces out into the field, Iblis brought out everything. He deceived the people through dunya, through fear, misguided them through a false understanding of Islam. They thought it was the Islamic duty to follow Yazid ibn Muawiyah. Please basically misguide people in all possible ways, millions of different ways that he has. Right? Entice them, give them one kind of bribe or another, or something or another. So they came and created all kinds of scenarios for against Imam Hussein alayhi salam. وَلَنَبْلُوَنَّكُمْ بِشَيْءٍ مِّنَ الْخَوْفِ وَالْجُوعِ نَقْصٍ مِّنَ الْأَمْوَالِ وَالْأَنفُسِ وَالثَّمَرَاتِ وَبَشِّرِ الصَّابِرِينَ. There was fear. You find so many, all of these things mentioned in this ayah of Holy Quran, you find all of these combined in Karbala. You don't find it combined anywhere else. Khawf, fear, hunger and thirst, right? Khawfi wal ju' wa naqsim min amwal. Loss of property and wealth. They lost everything. Imam Hussein lost everything he had. And whatever he brought to Karbala, lost that also. Naqsim min amwal wal anfus. He lost all his companions and family members. Wa samarat, his children were lost. Where else in your history do you find that? You know what? Imam Hussein, when he had lost his Thab and his Bani Hashim, his family members and everyone, in that moment when he became all alone, things happened. One is Nasr came from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Nasr, Nusrat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in real form. We don't know what it looks like. Nasr, in the hadith, we find Nasr came from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Basically, Allah said to Imam Hussein, hey, you've done more than enough. You don't have to do anything. All your maqam is mahfuz. Everything you want, you will have it, right? Let me take care of it. Don't worry about it. I'll finish these people off, whatever, I will turn it back to the way they were, like Ayyub alayhi salam, right? Compare Imam Hussein's sabr with Ayyub alayhi salam. Prophet Ayyub, right? Prophet Ayyub lost all his wealth, got sick, all kinds of things happened against him. Right? His wife also, I think, got into some kind of trouble. Everything happened. Some riwayat I was reading that they got so poor that his wife sold her hair. This is, I don't know how reliable these reports are, but when he heard that his wife, out of poverty, she had to sell her hair to win some kind of bread, he cried so much to Allah, oh Allah, this test I cannot handle. All other things I can handle. I cannot handle my wife going through this. Allah said, okay. It doesn't take anything for Allah to turn things around. Said, okay, turn things around. Angel came, everything came back. His farm started growing again. His animals got back to his children who had died and came back to life. His wife was fine. Everything became fine. He earned all his respect. Everything he had, Allah, because the test was of obedience of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Obedience, yes. But that level of sabr, that was only left for Karbala. No one else could reach that. No one else could reach that. So Imam Hussein, Allah said, okay, this is your choice. Choice. Other thing that happened was Imam Hussein refused. He said, no. I have willingly given promise to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and I will complete that. No matter what. I want to open a door for my Shia. A door for all those who have a little bit of khair in their souls, that I will be their guides. I will be their shafi and their guide in this dunya and akhirat. And even those who, for example, could not receive guidance, mutazaf, they're intellectually they're not mature enough, or they did not have access to Hidayat, Imam Hussein will open some kind of door for such people who don't have any books of Ahlul Bayt, don't have any hatred for Ahlul Bayt, who are not purposely trying to do harm to others, who are not evil in nature, who have some goodness in them, but because of ignorance, they could not find guidance. Well, maybe some kind of door Imam Hussein will open in the other world. We don't know how. But Imam Hussein had taken this role. This humanity must not all go to hellfire. I will save as many as possible. He said, I made this covenant, I made this promise to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I will continue on this till the end. I go all the way. I will not run away from any hardship. That's one thing that happened. The other thing was the whole army of jinn came to Imam Hussein before his shahadat. Jinn, they're like human beings, they have jinns. God knows there are how many. Billions, trillions, I don't know how many there are. They all came lined up before Imam Hussein, armed, and say, Ya Abda Rasulullah, it's too much. Enough. It's too much. This is enough. You don't have to go through this. Leave it to us. Just please go back. It's enough. You've done more than enough. It's enough. Leave it to us. We will take care of all these things. We'll take care of all these people who care, It's nothing. It's no problem. Imam said, no. I know how to do it better than you. If I wanted to do it, I would have done it without your help. I don't need your help. I don't need your help. The thing is that Imam Hussein have only, see the merit system I was talking about. Allah, someone who has to be Imam Hussein to open the doors of what we call futuhat, all the successes that will unfold step by step, till the zuhur of Qa'im al Muhammad Imam Mahdi alayhi salatu wassalam. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad. All the futuhat, all the doors of guidance Allah will open to the creation. It was only possible if Imam Hussein alayhi salam would go through the whole of Karbala, which no human being could do, no human being. I was reading a riwayat that before this world, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala brought all his creations together. And he said to them, best of my nations is the one that will come at the end. Ummat Akhir Zaman, the nation that will come to the end of the time, they're the best of my nations. They will be doing some sins for which they can go to hell. They will be mustahaq of my adab. Better than all the rest of the nations that came before them. But they'll be doing some sins and things they will be doing, violations they'll be committing, because of which they will earn my wrath and they will end up in hellfire. So who will save them from my wrath? Who will buy my nation from me? So the riwayat says that Imam Hussein stood up and said, Ya Allah, O Rab, I will buy your nation and free them from hellfire. Allah said, you Hussein, what price will you pay? What price will you pay for that? Saving all these people from Jahannam, takes a very big price. What price will you pay? And Hussein's answer was, oh Allah, whatever price you love the most, I will pay that. Price you love, the price that you think is the right price, let me know. I will pay that price. I said, I love you, O Hussein. Your life is more than anything I know. Imam Hussein said, I will give you my life. And I will save all humanity, all those who can be saved. There are many like Shimr and Yazid and Al-Sufyanis and all these who have A'da Ahlul Bayt. We are not talking about them, but anything who has dharratum min al-khair in his heart can possibly have the capacity to receive the rahmat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Imam Hussein will be the wasila for his najat. Imam Hussein alayhi salam will be able to save him. This is the deal Imam Hussein made with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So he came in this world, he went through that, because it was only through the ibtila'at, the imtihanat, the test of Imam Hussein, and the test that will also come to us because of our love for Hussein ibn Ali. We cannot receive the shafa'at of Hussein ibn Ali without being on his path. And the path of Imam Hussein involves tests. To our extent, to our level, everyone to his level. Every man and woman who follows Imam Hussein alayhi salatu wasalam will go through some tests because of love of Imam Hussein alayhi salam. Will have to go through imtihan. The imtihan is Allah, la yukallifullahu nafsan illa wusaha. It will be according to the capacity of a person. But no one can say that, okay, I will follow the path of Hussein ibn Ali without going through the tests. No, not possible. Reason, so why would a person want a test in this life? Because of the love of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Why would a person want the shafaat of Hussein ibn Ali? Because of love of Hussein ibn Ali. Imam Hussein is the object of love of this universe. Most beautiful thing. It's like Imam Ali alayhi salam, most beautiful thing Allah created. Just like Muhammad Mustafa sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. It is in human nature. When you find out such beautiful things about someone, you fall in love. Help. More a person, you know, little bit about Imam Ali, you love him that much. You know more about him, you love him more. Our love of Ahlul Bayt depends on how much knowledge we have about Ahlul Bayt. You listen to more fadail of Ahlul Bayt, you will have more love for Ahlul Bayt. So the more you know about Imam Hussein, the more you will love him. And because of your love, you are willing to face whatever comes to your way. Whatever difficulties, hardships. Now, some of the hardships come because of our mistakes, our sins. That's a different thing. We do istighfar, we do sadaqat, we change our ways, we learn new habits, we stop doing sins and whatever it is, that's something. But I'm talking about the hardships that we face because of love of Hussein ibn Ali alayhi salatu wasalam. That is all taken into account. That is part of the deal we made with Imam Hussein alayhi salam. We make a deal with Imam Hussein alayhi salam on the day of Ashura, and we come to Majalis, we go for ziyarat, we do read ziyarat, we always say, Imam, Ya Hussein, I'm not coming to your door to ask you for things. I want to be your comrade, you're part of your army. I want to be someone who you ask for help. Hal min nasirin yansuruna, so I am here to help. Highest rank will be given to such people who come to Imam Hussein alayhi salam offering their help. Become a liability for Imam Hussein alayhi salam. We are mostly, I would say about myself, we are more like a liability for Imam Hussein alayhi salam. Imam Hussein is trying to save us all the time. We are not really receiving any, we are not trying hard enough to be like Imam Hussein alayhi salam. This is not what we are doing. Yeah, everyone receives benefits from love of Imam Hussein. But Imam Hussein alayhi salatu wasalam, he knows that people have different classes. There are some who, I will mention this hadith from Imam Jafar Sadiq alayhi salatu wasalam. Please say salawat. It's Tafsir Ahlul Bayt and Biharul Anwar. Biharul Anwar, volume 64. Al-Mu'minu Mu'minan, two kinds of believers. We have two kinds of believers. All right? Al-Mu'minu Mu'minan. Mu'minun wafa lillahi bi shurutihi. There's a mu'min who fulfilled the conditions Allah on him. Wafa lillahi bi shurutihi allati ishtarataha alayhi. Allah put some conditions on him. You know the usul and furu things we understand, and there are other things that Allah requires. Anything that relates to vilayat of Allah and vilayat of Rasulullah, vilayat of Ahlul Bayt, we fulfill. Keep in your mind Habib ibn Mazahir, for example. There's a mu'min like Habib ibn Mazahir. وفى لله بشروطه التي اشترطها عليه فذلك مع النبيين والصديقين والشهداء والصالحين وحسن أولئك رفيقا. One class of mu'mineen who completed all the requirements. They met all the conditions. Complete checklist, everything they've completed. They are with what? They are with the Anbiya, they are with the Siddiqeen, and these are such mu'mineen are with the Shuhada, was Salihin, the best of companions in paradise. Highest of ranks, right? ذَلِكَ, and these are such mu'min who fulfilled all the conditions. ذَلِكَ مِمَّنْ يَشْفَعُ وَلَا يُشْفَعُ لَهُ. These are the people who do shafa'at of others, not the ones who are receiving shafa'at. People like Habib ibn Mazahir are shafi'. People like Zuhair ibn Qayn, people like Hur, these people who came to Karbala and reached that level, right? They are shufa'a. They are people who will be shafa'at for other people on the day of judgment. They are not people who will receive shafa'at. لا يشفع له وذلك ممن لا يصيبه أهوال الدنيا ولا أهوال الآخرة. These are people who will never face any fear of this dunya or nor the fear of akhirat. This is one class of mu'mineen. The other class of mu'mineen, وَمُؤْمِنٌ زَلَّتْ بِهِ قَدَبٌ. He slips. The other kind of mu'min or mu'minah is one who slips, makes a mistake, like commits a sin, sins. زَلَّتْ بِهِ قَدَبٌ كَخَامَةِ الزَّرْعِ. كيفما, like a tree, leaves fall, or for example, the breeze comes and the branches started waving and shaking, that kind of thing. كيفما كفته الريح انكفأ وذلك من تصيبه أهوال الدنيا. Second class of mu'mineen who make mistakes, who do sins, right? And then do istighfar, do sins, do istighfar, make mistakes here and there. They experience ahwal, whole fears of this dunya and fears of akhirat in barzakh or the day of judgment. Al-iyadhu billah. وَيُشْفَعْ لَهُ. They receive shafa'at of Ahlul Bayt. يُشْفَعْ لَهُ وَهُوَ عَلَى خَيْرٍ. So because of their slips and because of their mistakes, they will experience problems in dunya and in akhirat, but then they receive shafa'at. So when you close your eyes of this dunya and you open your eyes in barzakh, you will see Ahlul Bayt. And Ahlul Bayt will give you your final report. That you will give you basharat of, we are here for you. Then there will be problems. There will be problems in barzakh. Maybe the problems in some levels of stages of akhirat or qiyamah. Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam are there for such mu'mineen. No doubt about that. We believe in shafa'at. No doubt about that. So Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam, they went through all the hardships, and the lovers of Ahlul Bayt alayhi salatu wasalam, they also embraced the hardships of Ahlul Bayt according to their own levels. Today, in our time, if Imam Hussain alayhi salam opened the door for these Inna fatahna laka fatham mubina, all the futuhat because of Karbala, they happened in this dunya. All the way till the Islamic revolution in our times. This is also a result of the Qiyam of Ashura. Zuhur of Imam al-Mahdi alayhi salam will also among the thamarat of Ashura. You know the hadith that says Imam Hussain alayhi salam became a shaheed, and because of, as a gift of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, for the shahada of Imam Hussain alayhi salam, right? Allah gave him three things. You know these three things? One of the things is that Allah made imamat in the nasl of Hussain ibn Ali alayhi salatu wasalam. And Imam al-Mahdi alayhi salam will rise because of, as a samarat of Ashura will be Imam al-Mahdi alayhi salatu wasalam. Please say salawat. Allahumma sallallahu. The second one is istijabat ad-du'a tahta qubbatihi, under the dome of Imam Hussain alayhi salam or in the qabrihi, both riwayat. The dua will be answered near the grave of Imam Hussain alayhi salam. The second one. And the third one, his shifa fi turbatihi. In the turbat of Imam Hussain alayhi salam, there's shifa. Only the sand, the clay of Imam Hussein's qabr or area around it actually. There's shifa in that. Imam Hussain, so Imam Hussain opened the door, and one by one the thamarat of Ashura continue to unfold, and we see with our eyes every day something happening in this world, the result of the Qiyam of Imam Hussain alayhi salam. Even after so many centuries, actually the thamarat that we see now are more than the thamarat people saw 1,000 years ago. Every day there are more thamarat, and they continue to multiply exponentially, that if there were 10 yesterday, there will be 100 yet tomorrow. Same samarat, because more and more people are turning towards Imam Hussain alayhi salam. What is the source of inspiration for Islam right now? Main source of inspiration is Karbala, this world. The only thing that has such energy, It has so much energy, positive energy, revolutionary zeal, that all the leaders, revolutionary leaders in the world, they take Imam Hussein alayhi salam as the example, the living example, role model for all the revolutionary. All the nations have going through hardships. Where do they go for shelter? Where do they go for support, guidance, inspiration? There is no other way. There's no, either they go to Karbala, Imam Hussein alayhi salam, or they go to the personality of Mawla Amir al-Mu'mineen Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salatu wassalam. So he said salawat ala Muhammadin wa ala. So you see, this is what. So people ask, okay, why did Imam Hussein get killed? Why did Allah not save him? Why did Imam Hussein have to go through that? It was the only way. This was the only way. Imam Hussein alayhi salam had to open this way. Otherwise, Iblis had closed everything for human beings. There was no other guidance available. Everything Anbiya had done were lost until Ashura happened. Ashura happened, everything was revived again. People rose up, people became awake. What did we do? What was this all about? They became aware of all the plans of the Iblis, all the designs, all the things that Iblis, all the trap Iblis had laid for the people to misguide them, to take them into hellfire. They all became exposed. Look at the Islam of Abu Sufyan. Look at this, the fear they're using to destroy to the iman of people. Look at the bribe. Look at all the shahawat Iblis is putting in our way. Look at all the material attractions, the greed. Look at the greed for power, lust for money, and other valuable things of this dunya, which actually have no value. Look at how bright they seem, how easily they take away your iman and your faith. It was all done by Imam Hussein alayhi salam. If it was not Imam Hussein alayhi salam, people would never have realized how serious the machinations, all these things that Iblis has crafted, all the system of zulumat, of taghut that this Iblis and shayateen have created. It's very intricate, very complicated, strap that the Iblis had laid for human beings. The details of that, no one would have been able to see that. Imam Hussein al-Islam knew that this human beings at the end of this world, end of time, all these nations that we are living and the people that have come before and who will come after will draw inspirations from the something that happened in Karbala. See who Yazid was. He took, imagine, has done this before. Prophets' daughters were taken, paraded on the streets. The sign of victory for an Islamic ruler. What does that mean? How is that possible? Someone will call himself, okay, let's say Imam Hussein was wrong. What is this? How this is how you show you're right? How is that possible? So everyone, he exposed the true faces of Sufyanis, the true faces of Iblis and all those who have Iblis, uses to deceive the other people. Sometimes uses fatwa of ulama. Mullahs, who gave fatwa to fight Imam Hussein al-Islam. And recent in our time, the muftis, they gave fatwa of go to Iraq and kill the mu'mineen, go to Syria and behead these innocent people. All these fatwas, they came from the same place. Mullahs, the muftis of Kufa and Basra and other places were giving the same kind of fatwas, and these mullahs are giving today. They are all exposed now. Even non-Shias can understand that now, not just us. Everybody can see. Anyone who has seen Karbala will know, okay, this is what it means. This is how Islam is used to deceive the masses, to turn them into slaves, brainwash the people, enslave the minds. People are not now. People are much more aware than they were in those times. To drag all the people most of the people of Kufa into the battlefield, and then they are crying and beating their heads. What did we do? But you cannot do this now so easily. It's very hard. Iblis therefore lost. Imam Hussein alayhi salam won the battle of Karbala. Iblis knows that his final loss, defeat will come at the hands of Imam Mahdi alayhi salatu wasalam when he comes. So it is not enough to say that Imam Mahdi will come and take revenge of Imam Hussein. No. Imam Mahdi alayhi salam will come and take and eliminate all evils from this world. Not just take the revenge of Ashura. Eliminate the evil, behead Iblis, and destroy all the Pharaohs and Yazid and all the oppressive rulers that have come any time in history. They will be brought back, dug out of the ground. They will be there will be a final encounter, and they will be defeated and humiliated and beheaded and destroyed, whatever. There is a promise of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But we have to go through the test. We have to go, and test is not easy. No one said it will be easy. But yes, we can do it with effort. We must work hard. We must commit ourselves. Take this example of Ahlul Bayt in our mind. See, as I was saying, they could not find one mistake or even error of judgment of Imam Hussein in his whole personality. The same way, they could not find one mistake in the life of Ahlul Bayt, in the life of Usara of Ahlul Bayt. They could not find one mistake in Sakina. They could not find one mistake in Ruqayya. 5, 6 months old daughter, 4 years old, 5 months old daughter. Not find one mistake or even regret. The people who survived Karbala, no one was sorry about what happened. When Ubaidullah ibn Ziyad in Kufa, when Bibi Zainab Salamullah arrived in the darbar of Ubaidullah Ziyad, he asked, Kayfa ra'ayti sun Allahi bi akhik? How did you see what Allah did to your brother? And Bibi Zainab said, Ma ra'aytu illa jamila. Saw even only beauty. Because she saw Imam Hussein as Fatih, not ibn Sa'd as Fatih. She saw that her brother Hussein ibn Ali was the Fatih of the Maidan of Karbala. Ibn Ali was the winner of this battle of Karbala. Because Imam Hussein alayhi salam, instead of rushing for an early victory, he won the ultimate victory in this dunya. But diffusing all the plans of Iblis and waking up the human masses and providing shafa'at to all those. Continuing the path of Risalat of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa. Let's just remember the Usara of Ahlul Bayt as they were entering the city of Kufa. It is the night of the 12th. And people have the surviving members of Imam Hussein's family, they were taken as prisoners. When the morning came up, they started burying their dead. Umar ibn Sa'd's army dug a trench, and they had a mass burial of all their people who had been killed. So there were a lot of people killed by Imam Hussein's followers, Imam Hussein's companions, and Ahlul Bayt. They killed many. So they dug a big trench and they buried them all. But they did not bury the Shuhada of Ahlul Bayt. It is a Muslim requirement, Muslim rule. A dead Muslim body must be buried. But they had no regard for Islam. Left the Prophet's grandson's body trampled on the ground in Karbala. They left all the bodies of Ahlul Bayt and Ashab over there. And they made the women go through the bodies of the Shuhada. Sayyid Sajjal is sitting with his hand tied and his feet tied, sitting on the back of a camel with no cover. He was passing, his body started shaking because he saw the trampled body of his father. He didn't stay on the horse, he was about to lose consciousness. Sayyidah Zainab noticed that. He said, Oh, my nephew, what is your condition? These are shuhada. This was a promise made. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala was kept. This promise was fulfilled by us. And in return of this, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have all these bodies buried, which we will remember tomorrow. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will bring together a people from around the world. Their tombs will be built, their shrines will be built, these qubur will be built, there will be flag on the of Hussein ibn Ali that people will see from a distance. People will come from far away and give their salam to Hussein ibn Ali. Bibi remembered you and me on that day. She was giving consolation to Sayyid Sajjad that there will be Shias long time from today who will remember Hussein's sacrifice. It took them outside the city of Kufa. They did not let them in. This night they spent outside the walls of Kufa because they were decorating the city. They were decorating the city that they said the city is not ready for the welcome, the grand welcome of the victorious army of Yazid. They will bring in all the heads and all the captives. That the city has to be properly decorated. They set up everything on the streets, lights and colorful things, and they they wanted to bring them. And next morning, when Sayyidah Zainab, along with the usara, the women and the children, all the heads, they were on the lances in front of them. They came into the streets. People were asking, "Min ayyil usara antunna?" Which family do you belong to? What kind of asir or captives are you? And the answer of Ibn Kulsum and Zainab was, "Nahnu usara al Muhammad." We are the captives of the family of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. ألا لعنة الله على القوم الظالمين وسيعلم الذين ظلموا أي منقلب ينقلبون اللهم لعن أول ظالم ظلم حق محمد وآل محمد وآخر تابع له على ذلك اللهم لعن العصابة التي جاهدت الحسين وشايعت وبايعت وتابعت على قتله اللهم لعنهم جميعا بجاه محمد وآله الأطهار يا حسين